Hey everyone, today I was inspired to do a renovation on one of the houses in Willow Creek, so one of the base houses. And I don't actually play with Willow Creek that much, so I don't even know what the base houses look like, but I thought it would be fun if I just went in to a house that already has an existing family and try and renovate their house based off their skill set and their jobs and their current needs, sort of thing. So I thought this one would be fun to play with the Goto family. And also, I'm only allowed to renovate the house. I'm not allowed to change it drastically. So I do add in a study, but that is about the only change to the inside of the house that I do. So just looking at this, we've got Laurel. She's a high school student, and apparently she doesn't have a mom, so she must have been adopted by her dad. So it's just the two of them in this house, and luckily it is just a two-bedroom house. She has the glutton trait, and she also loves the outdoors, so we'll be doing something with that. And then her dad, Yataka, I think it is a snob. He's a maker, an overachiever, and he's domestic, and he's actually a freelance crafter. And I was really surprised at this because I didn't know that Sims that I hadn't played with could have jobs, especially a freelance sort of job. So I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, I'm going to send her to school, and this is what we're working with. So this is the base house. I really want to play with the new packs that have just come out. So the Modern Luxe pack, and I think it's called the Poolside Splash pack. And so we've got this yard on the side of the house that is actually quite decent. So I'm going to add a pool in there. This back bedroom, I'm going to make Laurel's. And yeah, it's a pretty simple base house. Like, it's pretty empty, I guess, because they're only using base game furniture. And then upstairs, we've got a really big bedroom, and I'm just going to make that Yataka's bedroom. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but the dad's bedroom. And I'm also going to have a little fabrication sort of area up there because I'm not quite sure where else to add that sort of fabrication area. So yeah, I'm going to add this pool out here, delete everything inside, and just get on with the build. So just another thing with this build as well, I know I'm selling everything and accumulating some simoleons, but I am actually going to cheat and give them some money, just because this house is so large. Like, it's double story, it can fit a lot in it, and I don't want it to be empty. Also, we're adding this pool area. Pools are expensive, and I want it to look expensive too. As a freelancer or self-employed fabricator, I assume that Yataka is rich. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I'm getting. So I've just added in this large fence because I did want the pool area to be sort of private. You don't want people walking past and peering in while you're having a pool party. And because it's just a dad and a teen, I could imagine that the teen is somewhat popular, has a lot of pool parties, has a lot of friends over, and it's just not the vibe if you have people walking past the house that can see in to the pool. I live in Australia, if you hadn't have heard that in my accent, and there are actually a lot of houses that have pools in their front yard, and I never understood it because I don't want people watching me in my bathing suit, having a good time on mine or my own properties. So yeah, I've added in a big fence. That's just my personal preference. Everyone else might feel a little different about that. I decided to add in this little fountain area as well to the pool. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. I'm sure that there are probably better ways to do it, and ways to make it look probably better than I made it look. I just put a bunch of rocks together basically, and shoved some fountains in those rocks. Now, don't come at me for this pool shape. I don't know what I was doing, and I'll admit that because I don't play with pools very much. The only reason I put a pool into this build is because I wanted to test out the poolside splash kit. There's no furniture that comes with that kit. It's literally just swimsuits and things like that. But to try out the swimsuits, we need a pool, and so I've added this pool in. But generally, the pools that I do are rectangular, and they most definitely do not have a rock feature with fountains. So this is new for me. Let me know if I did a good job or not. I can definitely up my skills. Like maybe I can watch some YouTube videos or something on how to build pools. But this is what we have right now. So I like it. I think it was okay for, I don't know, a custom shape try. And I'm also trying to like pretty it up with this terrain paint. I'm kind of bad at terrain paint. I mean, I have literally been watching YouTube videos and people are so good at it and keeping a steady hand. I am not good at it. I don't know if you just saw, but I had to like stamp it down one by one in that little square size because I can't drag it straight. I can't make it straight just by going, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense, but whatever. I'm just putting down some little garden things to make it look prettier. I wanted it to kind of have a beach vibe, so that's why there's more like palmy plants. Wait, is that right? No, tropical plants. There we go. Kind of tropical plants, while also keeping the existing bushes there, because I do like those little yellow flowered bushes. They're cool. And I've changed all the windows to black, and I also changed the roof to, well, it's not really black, but dark gray, because I think it like makes the house look a little more lively, because before it was just gray and white, like the white windows. It just wasn't great. And then because this guy is a snob, self-employed, and I assume rich, I wanted these big extravagant windows as soon as you walk in the house that look out onto the pool. So like if someone's having a pool party or something and someone's inside, you can just kind of keep an eye on them. I suppose that only works for like small children. You don't really need to do that with a teen, but let's just assume that once Laurel was a child that needed to be kept an eye on while she was in the pool. Let's just assume that. So we're starting to furnish the lounge area now, and this is where all of the modern luxe kit sort of furniture is going to come in. And I'm a little late to the party, so you probably already know this, but that picture that I've just put on the wall is actually a TV. And how freaking cool is that? Like, I love the frame TVs in real life, and I wish that I owned one. I don't, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean that my Sims can't own one. So I just love the way that it looks. It just looks like artwork. It just looks like you're gonna sit peacefully by the fire looking at some cool artwork, but no, it's a TV. So instead of reflecting like everything else in the TV screen, you're just going to be having a beautiful piece of art to look at, I suppose. I didn't really know what to do with this back area. I was going to initially make it like a library, like a small library area, but then I remember that this kit also comes with a record player. So because the dad, again, is a snob, I just like to assume that maybe he sits on his expensive armchairs and just listens to some classical music at the end of the day after some hard work, because he deserves it. And that's his little area. So I put this china cabinet down, but I didn't end up using it. I was just trying to fill the space with something really big. But then I remembered this guy works for himself. He needs an office area. He needs a computer where he can sit down, email his clients, issue invoicing, businessy things like that. I don't own a business, so I don't know what else goes into it, but I assume that's part of it. So I just made this little office area, which was really helpful with the overall build, because that space there was so big and I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, maybe I can add a formal dining space, but then there's actually a space near the kitchen now because I removed that wall, which you might have seen just before. So I mean, because I removed the wall, there is space there for a dining table right next to the kitchen. It made no sense to put it out here in the sort of living areas. Side note, how awesome is it that this new pack comes with individual pillows? This is exactly what we needed. Well, you know what? Actually, that might be a little dramatic, but it is nice to have, because now we can put pillows on armchairs, beds, couches, even the floor, like in the promo pictures and stuff, they had it on the floor as well. So yeah, it's just a nice decor item to have to spruce it up a little bit, because the furniture that comes with like the pillows already on it, it's like okay, but sometimes they're not the colors that you want. Maybe it's not the look. Like that couch that I put down, it's got the white and the pink pillow. Sometimes you might not want that. In this case, that pink pillow ties in really well with that TV artwork, but still, I'm just gonna pre-warn you as well, you'll see a lot of gold in this build. I know I said it before, I've said it many times already, but this guy's rich, and when I think of rich people, I think of gold. That's just something my brain automatically connects. If you're rich, you have a lot of gold things, gold jewelry, and in this case, gold furniture, gold accents. Like you've got the gold on the fridge, you've got the gold on the oven. You'll see in the bathrooms there's a lot of gold as well. That new pack with the modern locks pack, that just comes with a lot of gold things as well. And I think it just looks so good. It looks so classy, and it fits really well with the dad's personality in this one. It probably fits really well with the teenager's personality too. This kitchen and dining area honestly took me way too freaking long. I don't know. I was trying, when I do builds like this, I just make it too black and white, too modern, no color, and I wanted to bring some color into this. So I kind of did with the pictures on the wall and the chairs that I ended up choosing and the rug that leads down to it. But I think I could have done maybe a little more color. Like at the end of it, I realized I didn't do a backsplash, so maybe I should have added a black backsplash in. So moving on to the office area, it's quite a small office. So I pretend that maybe he only comes in here to do what he needs for business, like invoicing, for example, or emailing a client. But other than that, he doesn't do much more. So I've just added like a notebook on the desk so he can keep track of things. I'm adding in his high school diploma, his university degree, and then just a little board on the wall, maybe so he can keep track of some things. But other than that, that's it. And then his work desk is actually going to be included in his bedroom upstairs. So that's where he will read up on his fabrication notes, have his fabrication plans there, things like that, and keep his tools on that desk. So that's going to be in his actual bedroom. So really the study downstairs is kind of just a computer room. So you'll see we're just finishing up on the downstairs bathroom. So this will be the bathroom that any guests will use when they come over. Realistically, that's not how The Sims works. People don't really care about your privacy in the master bedroom, but that is technically the guest bathroom. And then I also added an extra door there just so it's also connected to the bedroom that Laurel will be in. It's quite a big bedroom, and to be honest, it might be a master in itself. So it's kind of like this house has two master bedrooms, if you get my gist. But anyway, we're in Laurel's bedroom now, and if you remember, she is a glutton. Like, she has the glutton trait, and she also has the love outdoors trait. So I'm kind of trying to bring in outdoors inside, or at least have her bedroom have an outdoor sort of vibe, which is why I've added the leaf wallpaper there. Her bed has a sun on it. The end table at the end of it is orange because kind of represents the sun. And then I added in this little mini fridge, so it does have face masks in it, but you can also use it as a fridge. So because she's a glutton, she likes to eat a lot. The mini fridge is just a really good little touch, because if she has the munchies in the middle of the night, she can just get up, go over to her mini fridge and choose something to eat. But also she can keep her face masks in there because she is a teenage girl. In The Sims, they tend to get acne, so let's just pretend that maybe she has acne problems and she's really into skincare, so that's where she'll keep her face masks. You don't get to see this, but I also made her join Scouts, so I've just put a little scout board there so she can keep track of all of her little scout badges. And then I put the shoes there as well. They're kind of like outdoorsy shoes because she's an outdoorsy person, so we pretend that she puts on her outdoorsy shoes and goes outdoors. I also added in the vanity from the Modern Luxe Pack 2. I had to. She is a teenage girl and we are pretending that she loves doing makeup. So she has to have the vanity there to be able to do her makeup. And there's that little circular mirror that I've also just put there that lights up, because as a teenager I always wanted one of those little light up mirrors. So, and I did actually get one eventually. Didn't use it too much, so that's a bummer. But anyway, my sim has it. Anyway, so that's pretty much her bedroom, and then we're moving on, sorry about that, to the upstairs bedroom bathroom area. So this took me a really long time to do as well, because I wanted that bathroom to sort of represent the dad, since it is his private bathroom. Technically no one else is supposed to be using it. I didn't want it to look like the downstairs bathroom. I wanted to try and keep it connected with the flooring and the tiling on the walls as well, but I just didn't like it. So you'll see in a sec that I just kind of delete this and go with what I wanted it to be. I think I do still end up keeping the same toilet. I think just when it comes to the vanity sort of area, I just wanted it to be more built in, you know, more luxurious for the snob. So I added in these expensive counters and a really big mirror. Still has the lights on either side of it. Not that he really needs them, because then I also added lights on the side of the mirror that has the lights, which is kind of silly now that I look at it, but oh well. And then I just went ahead and spruced it up with some decor. So I just added in a little plant, and then I added some toilet paper rolls on the counter. Now I feel like if you had 3 counters with drawers in them, you probably wouldn't leave your toilet paper on display like that, but I thought it was a cute little touch. And originally I was going to add it on the left side, but then I thought better put it on the right, because how many times have you been on the toilet and you need another roll? Well, in this case you can just reach over the plant and grab another roll. So onto the last room now, the master bedroom, the bedroom that the dad will be sleeping in. So half of the room is going to have his fabrication work in it. So I've got this desk go down. Now it's like a smart sciencey sort of desk. He's got his toolkit. He's got a little lamp so he can light things up and see what he's doing. He's got a big lamp in case the little lamp isn't doing its job. He's got some textbooks on there. And I'm just going to pretend like he sits there and he draws up his ideas and everything for fabricating, and then he can do the fabrication in that machine. And then on the other side of the room is his bed. He's got a little mirror, he's got a rug, just making it look like as cozy as you could, even though the workspace is also in this room. And then at the end of the bed is a table, which I've put a ship and an airplane on. So we're pretending that he builds these himself in his spare time. It's a little hobby of his to build these little models. And then outside I just popped down some counters and a couch, and it's going to be like a little custom coffee area where he can make his coffee in the morning, sit down, admire the view, and just relax before the day sort of begins. Just finishing up the room with some final touches. So we've got that ceiling light there, which looks magnificent, putting in some curtains and final pieces of artwork, and then that's it, we're done. So I'm going to be quiet now and give you guys a short tour of the property. just include these little clips at the end because I was trying to get like a cute video of them working in the space that I had built for them, except this guy just decides to vomit all over the floor before actually working on the fabricator, and that's because I made him dumpster dive for bits and pieces because I hadn't had anything in my bin because it was a new build, so I couldn't find any bits and pieces in my own bin. And then I tried to get this chick to go to the makeup counter and she took forever to come in, so that's fun. Anyway, thank you for watching if you got this far.